PressBox and Sports Boosters have teamed up with the Zola Leonard Group of Smith Barney Financial Advisors to present Shoes for Grades, awarding free athletic shoes to high school students who improve their grades by a full letter. Go to PressBoxOnline.com now for more information. Welcome back to the show inside PressBox. Towson Tigers didn't win one game against a Colonial Athletic Association opponent in 2010, but turned things around in 2011, winning the CAA championship. The man who was at the helm and leads that team is Rob Ambrose, and he's the head coach, and he joins us right now. Rob, we just had Eric Backage on, and he's had first couple bumpy years there at University of Maryland. And I said to him, I leaned over and then I said, Rob, weren't you, third year worked out pretty well for you?
It wasn't bad, a little better than average.
How can you keep yourself grounded, though? In other words, you were pretty humble you have to have confidence in your abilities, but you were pretty humble there. And it's easy to be humble when you're 3-19. When you're 8-2 or 10, what was your record this year?
Finished the regular season 9-2.
9-2.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a way that you have to keep yourself grounded?
There's a couple things that are involved. You got to have a plan to begin with. This wasn't done haphazardly. We just didn't go jump into the breach, so to speak. And to be honest, you got to have a great support system. You got to have somebody behind you. And that started with my wife. And
she keeps you grounded.
She does. There's a story behind this. In the midst of one of the darker days, I said something to the effect of, by the time we got this thing turned around the right way, that my win-loss record's not going to look very good. And she kind of smacked me in the back of the head and said, you came back here for bigger reasons than your win-loss record. You're building something. Relax. And it was a good reminder at the moment. But we have a great support system.
All right. Now, you take that 9-2 record and some of the awards you're winning. I won't go into the long litany of that. But now you're out on the recruiting trail. You did pretty well last year coming off an unsuccessful season recruiting, but what are you finding on the road this year?
Honestly, we've been building. We've been building since the first day we got here. And renovations are a heck of a lot harder than original ground up, brand new building. So it's always gotten better. We broke the single season attendance record this year. But the story is, in a 1-win season the year before, we missed it by about 300. So everyone sees where we're going. The recruiting has just got progressively better, just like everything else has, inch by inch, brick by brick.
The recruiting, though, what you're finding when you talk to kids, are they listening to Rob Ambrose a little differently now, or are their ears perking up coming off of a 9-2 season?
Before, we had to find the right type of kid for sure.
Right.
You had to find people that would believe in something that could be, not that was. Somebody with vision. And that's a good thing. You get people with vision, you get a bunch of the people with the same kind of vision. They're pretty powerful, and we've done good work with that. But to be honest, we're kind of global now. I've been approached in airports all over the country. Excuse me, are you the head football coach at Towson? And I can tell you from experience of being a football player at Towson, that wouldn't have happened a long time ago. So it's a great experience, and it's great for the university.
Now, you mentioned your wife, who's here while we're taping tonight, along with your two kids. Family, how is coaching at Towson? Now, you were at a big-time program at Connecticut as a top assistant there to, ironically, Randy Edsel. But how is the lifestyle for you? Is this kind of perfect for you?
Perfection. I think that's pretty much unattainable. But I can tell you that the family thing is very huge for us. And it's for myself, for my staff, for our players. That my wife and I agreed a long time ago that it was important for young men to see good, not just male role models, but family role models. Mm-hmm. And our kids, my staff's kids, they're in the field house constantly. As a matter of fact, I was telling the story today that during two-a-days, they were all together on a rainy day and not behaving quite well. And for punishment at practice that evening, our kids ran stadium steps during practice, which is one of the punishments we do for our own players. And there's some consistency and humor there, but it is one big family.
Speaking of one big family at Towson, you, as I mentioned before, you had a couple rough seasons there. Your win-loss record was totally askew there. You got a basketball coach that took over. This is his rookie year, and he took over. Cupboard was pretty bare with Pat Kennedy there. I think Pat had lost the last 19 games last year, and I think Pat Skeery has lost about 12 or 13 games this year at taping time. Are you communicating with him about how it does get better?
Weekly, just to make sure he keeps his head up. And you know, I've been quoted as saying that it took us a long time before we could even discuss winning. There's a lot of work to be done to build, to earn the right to say we're ready to win. And Pat's going through those growing pains right now. And I know personally, it's a rough road. It's difficult. Expectations are high. Good coaches are not patient. You know, anything that
he seems a little less patient than you even though.
Well, when you play as many games as they play, we
true.
only play a certain amount of games, so his season goes a little bit longer and it's a little more public. So I know what he's going through, but I have complete and utter faith in him. We could switch spots. He could coach football pretty good. No, he's one of the guys.
How big an honor was it to have the President of the United States in your house there? It wasn't the football stadium, but how big an honor was that to meet him?
It was surreal. It truly was. And there's a lot of things that happen in this season and after this season that I don't think I'll really appreciate until I'm much older and maybe a little more mature. But what a great guy, what a normal guy, for all that he has to go through to move and probably just go to the bathroom. You know, he was a normal guy. Talked to me like we were old beer drinking buddies, and talked to my kids, talked to my players, and it was great for me, but it was fantastic for the school. It was truly an amazing day.
It was a great moment. When we continue with Rob Ambrose, we're going to talk to him a little bit about the Ravens' upcoming game against the Patriots and a little bit about his old friend Randy Etzel down at the University of Maryland. Inside PressBox is presented by Freedmont Mortgage. Don't make a 30-year mistake by choosing the wrong lender. Go to freedmontmortgage.com now for all of your mortgage needs.